What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list for this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points for this week, you do have a lot of big ones that could really cause the market to kind of move upward, and thus really pushing a lot of these stocks even further. So you have on Monday, ISM manufacturing forecast right now is 49.8. So it has been moving from that 46 in August. So essentially really showing more of an expansion within the broader market is occurring. Also on Tuesday you have jolt numbers, and then aside from that on Thursday the same old, so initial jobless claims, a couple of Fed speakers throughout the week as well, and then on Friday non-farm payroll and unemployment. So definitely it should make for an interesting week. And then over and above that you have the whole tariff kind of scenario, which in my opinion I think is rather overblown and could subside pretty much at any moment. And so of course I think the market is pricing in the worst, and if obviously it does de-escalate, then the market is just going to kind of expand from there and move higher, take back a lot of the losses that did occur, for instance, on Friday. But nonetheless, getting right to it, stock number 5, ticker OPFI, sitting at $13.71 over the last 1 year, up 327%. Over the last 1 month, up 77%. And so this was on this list roughly around this kind of at the beginning of January, so it's gone up a very nice amount since then. No official squeeze yet though, because shorts have been doubling the hell down. So of course, if you have watched these kind of videos in the past, you know I just don't choose the most heavily shorted stocks. It's a good combination of having a high DTC, good recent stock performance, high short score, and a lot of shares being shorted. All of that combined makes for a very unique circumstance, a good squeeze. Thus, you get a lot of good, like for instance, 77% over the last 1 month. But DTC 5.07 short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 75.66. 32.44% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 5.93 million shares. Cost to borrow average isn't all that high, but 2.58%. And just generally, shorts have been really doubling the hell down. So they've been very reactive to the share price. So it's interesting if someone's going to give, whether it be shorts or potentially the share price. But given the circumstances, like I said, if something comes and is better than anticipated data point wise or tariff related, then you could see a very nice pop. So again, something to kind of consider. Beginning of January, short interest was roughly 12%. Now it is at 32%. But moving on to stock number 4, this one was stock number 1 last week. And so right now, ticker REBN, it did go up 62% just on Friday alone. Over the last 1 year though, it's still down 5.71, and then over the last 1 month, up 101%. So again, it's definitely worthwhile to add a lot of these stocks to your watch list because you have a lot of big runners. Side note, I guess I should bring up, in case you guys don't know what these companies do, this is the company profile, so feel free to pause it and read through it. But we are here because of this. So DTC 2.19 days, 17.76% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 376,000 shares overall are being shorted. Cost of borrow average 373%, so that is a annual rate, not a daily rate, so just be aware of that. Shorts have been really holding on for a while, and recently with kind of move last week started to move higher as well. So 15% short interest to where it is now at 17. So shorts are starting to possibly overextend themselves. But one thing I do want to bring up that I did bring up last week is that this stock is a very clear indication that there's naked shorting, only because of this. So shares on loan 233,000, number of shares being shorted 367,000. So math doesn't math up with that, does it? So something's questionable going on there. But short score 82.06, so again, higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. And then through IBKR, you do see roughly around 6,000 shares available to be shorted. Reason why I'm bringing this up is if you do see a lot of stocks that are somewhat limited on supply, you could see some corresponding buying coming from BlackRock, like Vanguard, a lot of the other big names. They love to take advantage of this. So that cost to borrow, because it's easy money to them. A lot of them just make a pretty big business just from buying and lending out stock. So once again, even though this has gone on a very nice run, you could still see a nice continued run associated to this. So this is stock number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, ticker VERI, sitting at 305. Over the last 1 year, up 84.85, and then over the last 1 month it is down slightly, and then over the last 5 days building a little bit of momentum at 5%. This is what they do. So application software, based out of Denver, good old Denver, 680 employees, founded in 2014. But right now, 13.55% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 9.5 million shares. Cost per average, 72.31. It is on the threshold list, and it has been on the threshold list recently, looks like since January the 27th. So any company on that list for 13 consecutive trading days, the SEC should be going after the market makers to get them to rectify that. So that could be coming, probably not this week, but next week. So something to keep in mind. DTC 4.19 or 4.1 days, and then utilization 79.45. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 400,000 shares is available to be shorted. So once again, you could see some corresponding buying this week, because big money loves this cost to borrow. So with that said, let's move on to stock number 2, ticker ICU. So $2.24 did go up alone 29% on Friday. Over the last 1 year though, down 88.83, so not all that great, but over the last 5 days definitely building some very good momentum, up 44.52%. But right here, healthcare equipment, this is the company profile. This one also is based out of Denver, same as the last one. Employees 12, and as of right now, 11% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 486,000 shares. So this is kind of what the market likes, is that somewhat heavily shorted stocks and low float. So again, something to keep in mind. Cost to borrow average 84.64, utilization is 77.36, and then DTC isn't as high as the other ones, but 1.83, and then basically shorts have been slowly and steadily getting in. So short interest in October was 5%, so they've been slowly getting in, as you can kind of see. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 4,000 shares, so you could once again see some buying in the next couple of trading days to take advantage and just to lend out. So this is stock number 2. And then stock number 1, you do have ticker DOGZ, sitting at $35.12 over the last 1 year, up 883%. Over the last 5 days, up 39%. So definitely very interesting time. This is what they do. So this one was actually on the list in the past, and it did do went up quite a lot, in fact. But this is it. So based out of China, apparel, accessories, and luxury goods, founded in 2003. But 29.89% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 496,000 shares. So once again, kind of fits that criteria that the market likes to squeeze. Cost of our average 95.28, utilization 91.8, and then basically you can kind of see that shorts have really doubled the hell down. So January short interest was 16, now it did peak at 31 on January the 27th. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 200 shares is available to be shorted. So again, you could see some buying to whatever, lend out and whatever else. So let me know your thoughts. Do you own any of these stocks? For instance, this one right here. So Reborn Coffee, did you buy? Because again, this was the #1 last week. Did you add it to your watch list? So yeah, let me know your viewpoint on these stocks. Is there any other squeeze stocks that you feel could go up this week, and potentially why? So don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.